Okay, I screwed up an attempt, this is German Rails, at analyzing the initial positions and throwing my bids out so badly that I'm restarting, actually. Just in terms of, I didn't realize something with the cost. The cost to enter cities is not one. It's one more, or it is more than the cost of the terrain that it's in. Now, Berlin itself, I don't know about, because the Berlin urban zone, the usual cost to build the track, I don't think you actually build into Berlin. I'm not sure. This is not well covered here. The rules for Berlin. Berlin is considered one large urban hex site, and the terrain type is what? I don't know. I'm going to say Berlin is exceptionally cheap to enter. Maybe they tell me something here. No. There's no indication of the cost for Berlin. Okay. Nor is there an indication of the cost for these. I said these are two, but Berlin itself is just an urban hex. So that's what kind of confused me. This is going to cost 2 plus whatever cost it costs to enter the city. And that's where my analysis fell apart. So let's start looking at the values that each of the players would have to. This company looks particularly non-valuable to me. Its special ability is that it can play 4 locomotives at a time. But if you start looking at the value you give for those 4, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I'm sorry, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. If I spend $22 on this company, that's money I'm not going to have for any of my other companies. And what seems like, a kind of interesting company because it's got this special ability just looks like a huge money drain at the beginning of the game and probably for the whole of the game, unless you bid almost nothing on it. If I bid 0 on it, I get an income of $3 every time that, if nobody bids on it, I get an income of $3 every time somebody the dividends are paid out, and I've invested nothing. I also get a pretty good dividend payout if I only invest $1 in it. So my feeling with it is almost that it is an almost valueless company. But if I want to make value out of it, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, $17 looks like sort of the minimum entry level to get anything running on it. You could say 2, 4, 6, $7 gets me $4 around. That's not terrible, but it's got no real room for expansion unless somebody else pays in. It looks pretty iffy to me. So White is certainly willing to pass and take it for 0, but are they willing to pay $1 for it? Because I think that's a good thing now. How about Yellow? Yeah. Yellow is willing to pay $1. Are they willing to go to 7? I'm going to say that's going to require a 1 to go to. No. Anyone else interested? Green's going to 7. What did we have here? Yellow's at $1 because $1 is a good deal. What about Yellow? You willing to take it any higher than 7? No. All right. And not Yellow, Red. Yellow here, you willing to go up? No. So Green is going to get it for $7, which I think is a far more reasonable price than I paid before in my last blank. He gets this share. I don't think he's got a good purchase here, but because it looks like such a crappy company. And now Green gets the next company to bid on. Well, the next company available is Brown. That's over here. What's its cost? Well, let's look at its special. It never pays additional for existing track of other railways in urban hexes. Okay, so this is going to cost 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, maybe 21. That's a lot of money to hook all that up. I probably don't want to, Well, I don't have that kind of money, but maybe I do want this company. It does not look bad. So let's look at what I think is probably worthwhile. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That looks pretty worthwhile. Well, we'll definitely go with a bit of 8. Will we go higher than that? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I don't have that much money. Am I willing to go to say 15, which actually is a good number for them? I am not. I'll stick at 8. Willing to go higher on red? Nah. Blue? Yeah. Blue's willing to go higher. So we said 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Didn't he go to 15? No. Willing to hit 15? No. Yeah. Willing to go up to 18. That's beginning to get to the... It's probably not worth throwing that much of your money into something now. So we got a 15 bid here on him. How about white? Interested? Again, I'm doing these on a roll of 1 because anything more seems iffy. Green. Green's got a more interesting position. I've already spent a lot of my money on one railway, or some of my money. 15 versus 16 may be a worthwhile choice, so I'm going with nah. All right, so blue is going to get this one for 15 bucks. Basically, green is looking at maybe I can't get a company with what I have left. That would be a pretty sucky situation, though. So there goes blue picking up this, and the shares to this are very flimsy, kind of a glossy paper like textbooks have nowadays. Very thin, cheap stuff. It's colored and it's pretty, but very, very poor quality, in my opinion. Okay, let's take a look at orange. What's their special ability? Their special ability is they can't place more than 2 locos at a time. Well, that's not really a big deal. What kind of payoff can I make? Hitting Dresden looks valuable. That's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 bucks. And of course, into Berlin, 16, 17 maybe. Somewhere in that range is appealing. Who just bought this? How's 9 bucks? You know, that's the least I can go. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 8, 9, 10. Doesn't look very good at 9. How about a 7 bid? Interested in that? Yeah, I'll put a 7 bid out. A pretty rich little company if I can get that, right? White's probably interested in this. We'll see. We said 9 was a good amount, right? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, 10 is a good amount. Let's open with 10 for them. Let's see if they're going to go higher than that. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 might be the next step. Nah, we won't go there. Blue's out of the game here, but we'll leave them in place for that. What about you? You willing to go to 15? Yeah. You willing to go higher than that? 16, 17, 18 for Berlin? No. How about green? Willing to, again, go to that 16, that magical 16? No. Red. Interested in going higher, say an 18? No. Blue is kicking out. White. Again, these are 1s because you're using up so much of your money here. White is kicking out. Yellow gets this for 15 bucks. A share of the orange company. And they get first bid on the blue. Blue is looking at their special ability is that they pay $1 less than normal for each hexagon. So they don't enter cities for 0, which is what I was thinking, and that's what caught me, made me look things up. So this would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and they've got a fairly weak run there. This guy's in kind of the same kind of position he's in. Very good company to bid nothing on. Maybe not such a great company to bid a decent amount on. I don't have a whole hell of a lot of money. Am I willing to add another city for $4? $4 doesn't sound like a bad bid. Okay, am I willing to bid $1? Yeah, I'll open up with $1. Now that would totally hose this company, just like a 0 bid would. But it's sort of setting a bar because nobody else can get away with that really cheap bid. What's Green's situation? Green has a lot of money. $17. What can I do with that? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wouldn't leave me a lot of excess cash to buy more shares. And that's one of the dangers here. If you don't have a lot of cash, you could buy shares of a company, hurt the guy who's holding the company, but help yourself by getting some of that income. So that's the real danger to these people paying a lot for something. Other companies look like they're able to make a decent amount of money, like this sucker. Very slow growth, only can spend $5 per turn on its growth, but look at all the riches sitting around it. That's just going to be able to score so well. The problem is, it's still not worth throwing more than half your money in, which some people have been doing on companies. And this one's got a nice possibility there. I'm going to say he may not be able to get, I think with $16, $17 he can get what he likes. So he's probably going to pass here. He rolled the 1. Okay. So we're looking at 2, 4, 6, 7. $7 is sort of the entry cost here. If I spend that, I got enough for another little company. Let's see. You willing to go higher than 7? No. So we'll go up to 7 here. What about red? This is just not such a good company, and I feel like everybody's kind of shying away from it the same way they did with that one. And yellow has already determined, I think, that they don't want to spend too much on this. But that's 7. Yeah, I can't improve on it. Yeah, we'll let green buy this sucker. For not a lot of money, and whatever effect that is. And I'm going to put my lighter over here to remind me it's green's turn. I'm going to take a break from the initial bidding. In addition to what kind of payoff can you get from these companies, another thing to keep in mind is, well, what kind of money do the other people have? Because if you get a turn opportunity, and you're more likely to get one if you don't have bids in here, if you don't have many companies, because you'll be in last place over here and get more selection possibilities there. Well, you might be able to buy something that, at a fairly good price by picking some stock rounds for the second options. Anyway, started looking at this yellow company, which gets a little extra money from one of its cities, and it would like to connect up to a good city, but it's in the middle of kind of crappy terrain. Green decided not to bid, red decided not to bid, blue is looking. We're looking at kind of an opening bid here, though, of 3, 4, maybe around $9 was the bid that people have been passing on. And blue's kind of looking at, well, that's exactly what I have. So that seems like a good choice of companies for me, even if I kind of screwed up by bidding on the other. Is anybody else terribly interested? Because they're giving away some of their at-J, as it were, in terms of, you know, opportunity cost that might be worth a lot more. Once the game actually starts, there's a couple of people with full cash. Now, if one of them breaks down and spends some of theirs, the other one might be willing to spend just a little bit less so that they have the edge on a bid. Of course, when we're talking $10, we're talking about a significant amount here. So how interested is White on this? This does not, White's interested. Okay, so if we're looking at 10, 13, 14, 15, 16 this way, or 15, I think. We're looking at a fairly, what about running this way to get towards Berlin? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 sounds good that way. I just can't quite bring myself to bid that much. Can I bring myself to bid 10 on this thing? Basically throwing an extra buck in. That makes the next person's investment in the company maybe a little bit better leveraged because there'll be some cash sitting around in it. Are we interested in that? Now we're going to pass out of this. And this guy only has $9, so he's out. It looks like blue is going to get this for a fairly cheap $9 over here. Now blue's out of cash. I'll leave their marker up there just to indicate that they're bidding first. My next company is this red one. What the hell's up with this? Okay, the first locomotive in Plains Hills Mountain or Berlin Approach is going to be free, i.e. anything but an urban. Wow! This is an interesting company. So I could advance very slowly, very cheaply. That's very intriguing. But let's say I build into here first for free, and then I could take these at 4, 8, 12, $16. That gets me a really nice run there, and at the same time I can be advancing elsewhere. I like this one a lot, and money's open. I have to make a decision. You know, that $16 seems like a pretty good bid. I'm not willing to go that high. How high am I willing to go? 4, 8, maybe 12? Yeah, I'm going to open up at 12. It gives me an opportunity to buy more shares of it too and boost its price if that's my desire. People are unable to afford it. What about here? You willing to go up to that 16? Nah. You're willing to go just a little bit higher. You're willing to go to 13. And now we see this kind of willing to go to 14. All right. White has overspent. Now, this one's kind of a mystery because honestly, I could spend the money that I talked about, but at the same time, I could be creeping up and grabbing something more valuable. So this one really kind of has some interesting factors to it that made the price more available to me. Now, I said only 14 for that. I think it was probably worth more than some of the companies that people spent more than that on, like this brown here. But we're getting down to the end of the companies, and even though I think these are more valuable companies, given that people spent, you know, their fortunes on some of the richer companies, that's kind of an intriguing. It opens up an opportunity to get these for less than maybe you'd expect them to go for. Although, obviously, the more you spend, the more you can make off them. But that leaves me enough cash to make a bid on the next one, this purple. And this one has an interesting ability, too. It may never spend more than $5 when spending track, so it's not going to be able to advance quickly, but it's in a rich, rich area of the game. So 3, 6, 9, you know, that's pretty good. I may want to just open up with 10. Oh, come on, man. You want this. You know it, don't you? Yeah, he's not going to bid on it. That puts it on yellow. Yellow, looking at 9 for this, that's perfect, you know, match to their cash. So that's very appealing to them. They're going to bid on that. The die rolling that I'm doing, I'm just sort of internally asking myself a question. The first one is, hey, do I want to pay that 9? I got to know, but it's such a good deal for them. I re-rolled. I give them a better chance of getting it. All on the fly kind of decision making. Over here, I got $10 and 2 companies. That's pretty good. He's in a pretty nice position also for this. And he decides against it. Red here. Red has no companies. Now, he's not going to want to spend his entire wad on this. $10 on this? What about more than that? 3, 6, 9. How's 12 sound? Okay, how about 10? I'm going to go to the 10 here. What is this shit? I'm going to go to the $10 here. That leaves it to blue. Blue has no money. White started this off and doesn't have the cash to outbid. So now we're here, and actually passed on it. So now we're here. He's the only one with the opportunity. At $9, he's not getting it. So that $10 was kind of a cool bid because it gives me a pile of cash to go into the next round. Which, if it is the best company, which it isn't, I don't think, I could throw a lot of money at it. Okay, now red's up. And what do they want to bid? Do they just want this thing for $14? Doesn't seem like a bad deal in some ways. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And see, that goes to 15. There's no good 14 bid. Hey, what is this thing like? So this is the company that has to connect Berlin to Hamburg before it can get any dividend payouts. So that's got to be my big focus right away. Pretend money's open. There's someone else who has enough to bid this. Let me take another roll, see if I'm willing to throw the full 14 in. Yeah, I'm just going to buy it. It seems like a good purchase to me. To buy that certificate. Okay, and now we calculate out the values of all these players' holdings. So white has a red holding. Red holdings are worth 1. Nobody's going to be at 0, which may be a valid plan. Yellow's holding looks like the colors of these certificates, the yellow and orange, are very difficult for me to distinguish. It looks like he's got an orange one, though, which is worth 1. Our next player is green. He's got the black company, which is worth 3, and the blue company, which is worth 3. Well, that's a lot of potential income, but you don't make it until people start hitting things together, and he doesn't have a lot of capability to do much with his companies that I can see. Now we go to the red player. The red player has the green company as 1 and the purple company as 1. And finally the blue player has the yellow company is at 2. And I believe that's the brown, not the black company. Again, hard to see when they're spread out, which is worth 2. It sounds to me like he's got a total income of 3. And now it's baggy time. The top company, or the top player, has 1 for the bag. I'll keep them over here. The second is blue. He's going to get 2. And this is, you know, the most innovative part of the game, really. 3 for red. And it looks like 4 for white and yellow. And these are all going to go in the bag. I'll come back after I do that. Let's see what our first pick is. This will be for the first. We're going to get 5 draws because there's 5 players. Blue will be going first. Then white. Now, I'm never really thrilled with certain aspects of these games, which is all the companies don't get their go and everything. It's more like a Men of Iron meets the type command system meets the 18XX designs than anything else. It always kind of weirds me out. Then we got a green. Nobody's got a double so far. It's hard to reach into here. Red gets one. This is an interesting sort of randomization because even if you're doing very well, you have a shot at getting an action. And blue gets a second. And these are all the missed opportunities. The good thing is nobody's going to get 5 of these discs in the bag. And no 2 players are going to get 5 discs in the bag, which means I'll always know where to put the discs in the solo game. People can usually remember who they are in a non-solo game. All right, so blue has the first option. He could just pass. That doesn't sound very wise. I don't have money, so I sure as hell don't want to do a stock round, I don't think. Unless I could want to kind of hose a company by putting it up for bid when there's not a lot of money. But there's enough money available that would just help people upgrade those companies. So I guess I'm going to be building track. Well, I can only build it for 2 companies. That is yellow, I hope, and brown. And these certificates are really hard to distinguish. Okay. Well, let's look at their specials. Oops. Yeah, there's danger. Yellow's special is the increased income that it can get. And brown's is it doesn't pay for existing tracks when building into urban areas. All right. Let's build up the brown, I guess. So I have 15 bucks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That sounds like where I want to go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bucks. I can only build 3 of them. And I get that there. Who gets his disc? Now we're on white. White has cash. White could look for the best deal as it stands, throw 10 bucks in that company, and get themselves some significant cash. In particular, they could do that for their own little company. But what are they interested in with their own company? If I do a track build, I get free track placement. That's hard to deny. So I am going to take a track laying, and here's my free track play. And we probably want to pay for 3, 6, 7, 8. 3 each. So 8 bucks for those. And I forgot to increase my value there. 8 bucks for those. I get 2 more here. All right, let's take a look at red's increase first. Red just added 3 bucks to their run. So their value goes up by 3. He's the only one with red. So his value goes up by 3. And now brown added 1 buck to their run, which means the blue player goes up a buck. And one thing is to kind of keep some consideration of, do you want to keep your ratings lower so you put less things in the bag? It's an interesting thing to consider, that's all. Okay. So that was the white player. Now we're on green. Green is not the green company, they're the black and the blue companies. Blue doesn't have a whole lot of money. Their special ability is paying less when building track for each hexagon. That sounds an appealing way to gain value, I'm in the lead. Do I really want to stay in the lead? Or do I want to, and this will keep me in the lead for sure, do I want to throw 10 bucks into something else? And that could even be one of my own companies to just up the value on it. The reason I can do that is I can just kick that money. Basically, I'm going to get first bid and I have the most money on the board. It strikes me that blue is able to do quite well, so I'm going to do that. My opening bid is going to be to throw blue up for sale, and I'm going to buy it for 10 bucks. Nobody has that much cash. And that increases my value by another 3 bucks. And I've got a pretty good starting value position. Plus I got cash into here. Somebody else, say the white player who had 10 bucks, could have done that as well. Could have invested in a company nicely. Okay. Now we're over to red. Red has no money. They got to make their decision between green and purple. Advancing purple seems valuable. Advancing green may be more valuable because I get no value for this unless it is connected. So let's go for the green company and we'll trigger its building. And we will build 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bucks worth of track for them. That, I think, adds to my value another 3 bucks. But it does not add to any income that I make on a run. That may be unwise. Let's instead take a buck back on the green company. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bucks, I guess. I don't know how much I paid in it, so whatever. It's not like I have a par value that I can figure things out. That should have been 1 buck less, though, to get here. And now I'm not increasing my value on the track when it wouldn't make any difference anyway. So that's red. And now blue gets to go. And green would love to trigger some events here to get themselves more cash in hand, right? They've got such a good income at this point in the game. But there's no guarantees that that income's going to pay out before other people kind of catch it up to it because they're going to get more actions. So we're looking at the yellow-brown combination again. Do we want to make one of those companies particularly better than the other? I would like to get to a nice city with yellow, wouldn't I? That's going to be expensive, and I didn't really contemplate how to do that. I only have 9 bucks. 4, 5, 6, 7. That costs 10. 3, 6. That costs 9 to get me into this kind of rich area. What was I counting on? I was probably counting on just getting these. I'd like to get to a bigger city. That's the problem. What did I say here? 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Yeah, that's... Can I get down to Frankfurt? Probably not. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 now. Maybe I want to build brown instead. I have 8 bucks. Hooking up to Berlin. Problem with hooking up to Berlin is I'd allow someone else into there. Alright. We'll lay some yellow track. But I allow someone else into here too. That's the problem. Maybe I want to pass. Oh, this is tricky. I think I want to pass. What if I don't go to Berlin? What if I spend, because remember, you get double income if you're the guy who hooks up the connection. And clearly, I will not get the connection if I go into Berlin. But then the question becomes, are we just playing a game of chicken and not trying to hook up to not give an advantage to someone else? And that, what does green own? Green owns blue and black. Those would be the companies that I would be trying to get close to, because he has a real vital interest in trying, in hooking things up. So he doesn't really care so much about whether he gets that little extra doubled run. Not little. Seems like a big deal to me. Brown and yellow. How much cash does yellow have? Yellow has $9. That's 5 to get to. I can't go blasting through that shit. Well, passing doesn't make sense, so I'll play yellow for $6. Not build all their track. I'll build 2 track here. That doesn't quite hook me up. You know, I can't afford the hookup. All right, I'll pay the extra 3. Go into ham, and I will buy, that gives me an additional buck in that. Blue goes forward, and yellow is just not looking like an appealing company for them at the price that they paid for it. That's the problem. So they're going to need to get some income, and they're giving a bonus over to purple in terms of being able to get a doubled run after he hooks up ham. And that kind of sucks. This is our values. Let me set up the things. We're going to get 1 for that. Blue's going to get 2. White's going to get 3. Red gets the big 4. And yellow is going to get all 5 of their tokens in play. And it's rest time. We're into what basically consists of the simple pattern of the game, which is just drawing these. And you can see everybody got a turn this time. Got to be careful with the bag at least, maybe not with some other means of delivery. I had a yellow chip stuck in there. If that had happened, they could have gotten an extra opportunity. You know, you just have to kind of watch what's coming out when you dump it out. Okay, so our first play is blue. Now, blue obviously doesn't want to put something up for sale unless he has some particularly nefarious design in hand. And he is the brown and yellow players, I suppose. You know, I can't tell these apart. I really can't. When I put them next to each other, I can, but as they start to slide apart, almost not at all. And this same situation here, as these slide apart, they look almost exactly the same. Terrible, terrible. You know, they're pretty looking in a sense, but I can't tell which is which. All right. So we're saying that's brown. Does it say on it? It says Attique, which is share. It's got the names on it. All right. Well, I want to build track. There's no question there. Brown is running low. I didn't want to go in, did I? 1, 2, 3. I'm close. I don't have to go in. He's not going to be able to go in twice. Yeah. We'll build the brown track, I guess. 2, 4, 5. I'm not going to make it in. I guess I knew that. What is brown's special ability? No additional cost for linking in the urbans. All right, well, we'll pay what we counted on here, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the full amount. I've raised my income by 2. And we'll just sit on that. Goes to white. White has cash. They could throw some more stuff into play. How did brown have so much money? I don't know. Yellow had no more money, so, you know, this is where I'm at. So now we're on the white player. He's got the red company. He doesn't have a whole hell of a lot that he can do with them. In terms of cash, he only has $6. That's going to get me one more space. Red's special ability is the free building. Honestly, I can get to there if I kind of hold my cash, right? I can't get there if I blast through here, but if I just do this build, I can get there at this point. Now the question is, do I want the extra cash or not? Or do I want to buy shares? I could buy another share of red for $10, or I could buy a different, better company maybe. I like red's options. In terms of payout though, what I see is purple is going to get a doubled payout. That's kind of appealing. Not sure anybody else is. Green can't reach out here. They can get to Berlin. They're not getting any further. See, the problem with purple is they didn't build much track, so they're not going to have a very big payout, but it's going to be doubled. So what I'm looking at here is maybe $8. Do we have enough money for all that? 10, 3, 6, 9, 10. I can actually build that. $8 is better than anybody else is going to make, isn't it? Everybody else is set on here. Not making a lot. I'm not sure I really want to pay $10 for a purple though. I know this guy has 9. I can get away with $9 and, you know, not pay as much. Is that a great idea? It's hard to tell. I don't know quite what his value is, but I feel like I'm getting the same value added by putting this into play and taking a stock round, and that gives me an extra $1, which gives me the ability to buy another share of something else. Now I've just added $1 to white's production capabilities. Green has no money. Their railways are both kind of flush with cash though. In particular, if I'm going to make a run, I want to make some money. I'm going to see a run, a dividend share being paid out, so I want to make some cash off that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the blue train. The blue train special ability is paying 1 less for each track lay. I have a decent amount of cash in here, 15, 16, 17 bucks. I will buy this for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could get to here cheaper, what the hell. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 gets me in the general direction. Raises the amount of money I'm going to make off blue by 1, and that means I go $2 increase there. And I'm kind of happy to see a payout happening on this round. I'm hoping. I don't own purple, so I'm not the one who's going to be laying that track, right? Over to yellow, who's got the orange that looks very much like yellow track. What the hell did he do? Did he just pass? He's got a pile of cash on hand. Now, orange isn't going to make much money. He can't buy purple because they've already sold out a second share. So then my next question becomes, well, I can't buy blue either, which is also kind of valuable. Since I am the only person with money, except for this guy who has a buck, I'm going to sell a share of black and buy it for $1. Black's a good purchase at $1 in my opinion, and that raises my value, not of this, but of yellow by 3. You know, what the hell? That's the problem with something being so kind of, with people being out of money, is you can buy up their stuff that's going to make you profit. And, you know, once you make your decent income off that crap, you can then buy up a company that actually, share that actually has some value for you, especially if you're kind of boosting a company that you were starting before. There's a lot to this game, and I can't scratch the surface. There's no question of that on one initial playthrough. And now we're on this guy, and he can either bust out with his purple, but why do that? Green still has cash to invest, so I want to make my connection if I can. So for that, this is going to cost 3. 4, 5. I guess 6, because I don't have a value on that. And I have now hooked up Berlin. Am I terribly upset about this? Yeah, brown may hook me up, but that's okay. I've just increased the value of my train by $6 though. And that is the green company is up to 7. And now they can get money. This is why I needed to do this in addition. And that adds $6 to red, who's up here. And that gets this set done. We'll keep going. I'll run this out another turn before I get started, but I do get to select my chits here as to who's going to get what ordering. And poor yellow is still going to have the most chits, which may or may not be valuable. They have cash, and no one else does. So like I said, they can buy up shares for crap and piggyback on everybody else's good deeds. That's a reason that other people want to get a payout soon, because this is just too potent a situation, especially with them holding this many discs. I think, you know, to my naive eyes at this point, I'd say that looks like a win to me for them. And the pulls from the bag this time give yellow 2 turns, white 2 turns, and green a turn, which is kind of shocking. Very strange setup. Yellow's got to think. They've got a lot of power here. The green player holds blue and black. They're probably not going to be able to force a run. The yellow player holds orange, which is why he has no value, and a black. Right? That's black, not brown, I hope. Yeah. What could he do? Well, his orange could definitely start busting out and producing something, but he has enough cash to set something up. We already know green's not going to do a link up yet. I might be able to do a link up with orange into, say, brown and get a double valued run that way. And that might be more possible if I throw all this money into the crappy orange stock form. Remember, orange gets a bonus. No. The railroad may not place more than 2 locomotives when building track. Really? Interesting. So I'm not going to be able to hook up unless I can do both track lays. I have 15 bucks. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and I could get the run. Of course, if I do that, I don't know the shares. What's likely to happen with white? What are they going to be running? They're going to be running red and purple. They're probably going to be causing at least one dividends round. Of course, they might cause the dividends round and then generate enough money. Well, they got to lay some. Yeah, they can lay some track for the dividends round. The question is how many rounds of building do they want to do before they lay the money? Because if they boost their income up above other people, they're going to get less activities each time. So it's there's a lot of weird and very subtle decisions to make in this. But yellow, I think, is going to build themselves some track to begin with. And they're going to use the orange rail. They're not really interested in boosting the black rail at this point. That made them their money. So the orange rail, they're only allowed to build two little train thingies. Let's get into here. Can I get up to Dresden cheaper? Or to Berlin cheaper? I might be able to get to Berlin cheaper. Why not? 1, 2, 2, 4, I'd say 6 to get into Berlin. That's definitely cheaper. All right, why don't I do this? 3, 4, 5. I've increased the value of the orange train by 1. I've increased my holdings by 1. I hope I'm yellow. We go to green, who does not have money to buy new shares. So that was one of the things, is I don't have to worry about somebody jumping on me. Not that anybody has cash right now. I could maybe just spend another buck and buy a share of something that looks like it's going to do well, like purple, or what else looks liable to, I think I'm better off doing that than building up my own companies, actually. Oh well. We've done what we did. So that puts us on green. Green does not have any money. They have their two companies. They have the blue track and they have black. All right. What is blue up to? Blue gets to pay less. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can get to here, but no further. With black, I could build more track. Other people are bought into black, though, so I'd rather build blue. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not sure I want to make that decision at this point, but it gives me some additional, distance in that direction, which seemed better than trying to hold on to the money. I want to get to Berlin. Berlin's so valuable, and there's a nice route heading up this way that looks appealing. So that'll be the green play. Now we're back on yellow, and you know what? I just can't help but blast someone else's track, someone else's company, get me some cash. What's good? Well, green's the best company. No shit. I'll buy a share of that. No, this is the only guy with cash, and he can't bid against it. So there's yellow's action. And there's no funny business where, I can't buy one because I don't have more, because I have more shares than other people or anything like that. That's cool. I got used to it. That kind of tricky little rule, or failed to get used to that kind of tricky rule in a game I just played that really threw me for a loop. Okay, white gets 2 turns in a row. Now white cannot buy something for 1, and they could put something up for bid, but that'll just help yellow. Yellow will be able to buy it for 2. No way, man. So white is running the purple railway and the red railway. The red railway is doing pretty well in terms of where it can get. I could get as far as here. I don't have enough money to go further. I'm going to run that because nobody else has shares of it. And I'm going to build. It's a pity you don't get the cash for the building, eh? 3, 4, 5, 6 into there. That just added $3 to red. Oh, geez. I don't know if I've been paying attention to the monies. White just went up by 3. 1, 2, 3. I got to recount the money. I'll be back after and finish up white's second action, which they're probably going to be making a connection action with. Okay, so there's where our formulations of value are. The big thing that I forgot, somehow I ended up off on my blue. They should only be at $4, right? No, they should only be at $6 because they have a yellow and a brown there, I think. I don't see any other way to read that value. I don't know how I could have made that mistake. The other that I was actually ahead. The other big thing that I forgot was to add that big 7 to yellow. I don't know what I added, maybe 1 or something. No idea, but I had to recalculate that because white, I think, wants to do a run now. Now, I'm out of red things I can run. I don't want to buy shares. I'm going to build my purple line. And to build that up, does purple have an advantage? They can never spend more than 5 talers when building track. I'm not going to get a run. So I'll spend 3 talers. And I add 1 to the purple value. White goes up by 1. Someone else has purple. Red has purple. So I did not make the connection I was expecting to this turn. I forgot about my special abilities for the companies. And that means we have a new sequence here. Red and white each get 3. And blue is deep in the hole. And we'll bag them and see what we have. And you know what? I think it's time to send this video up. It's been more than long enough.